Hello, this is Lauren, and you're here for our coffee break today with Kimberly Keeton, who's going to be talking about my methodology. It was all a dream until I put it to paper. So let me hand it over to Kimberly, and here you go.
Greetings, 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 everyone. My name is Kymberly Keeton. I have a master's in library science. I'm an academic art librarian and assistant professor of library science and the information literacy coordinator at Lincoln University in Missouri, which is a historical Black college situated in Jefferson City, Missouri, the state capital. My presentation today, of course, is called My Methodology. It was all a dream until I put pen to paper. I actually came up with the first portion, It Was All a Dream, from the hip hop artist, the Notorious B.I.G. And if you're wondering why I just inserted hip hop into this conversation, it's because I teach hip hop information literacy at Lincoln University. So I wanted to introduce individuals, participants, educators, scholars, faculty, students to what I do at Lincoln University. So here we go. So the narrative: if knowledge is the key, then show me the lock. One of my favorite groups, A Tribe Called Quest. One of the main reasons why I wanted to create something new as far as information literacy is because when I first arrived at Lincoln, I got to teach, I had the opportunity to teach just a general course in information literacy. And immediately I became aware of how students were not really being receptive to the information. And I don't think it was me per se, the professor, I believe it was the curriculum. And when I started to query students, I started to talk to them about culture and about visual literacy and what they see as being young adults in America. So I was like, well, maybe I should do something different versus just teaching a general course. How about making it about them? So when I say make it about them, I'm thinking of hopefully being able to introduce this to on a global level in regards to just hip hop, in regards to culture, as far as it pertains to a lifestyle. So I decided to observe the culture more in depth. I began surveying students, and it was a go, pretty much. Students were interested in hip hop information literacy as far as the title of the course, not knowing what it would all entail. So as you can see in the PowerPoint, many students had no clue about what information literacy meant to their academic career, just not in academia, but as lifelong learners, and never had really been exposed to just hip hop scholarship, which I thought was very interesting, being that we're in the 21st century and hip hop is everywhere in everything that we do. Billboards, fashion, literacy, and anything that you can name, you pretty much see hip hop in it today in our culture. So I felt like that in order to meet my students where they were, I had to do something different outside the box to draw them in so they could understand the importance of finding, being able to evaluate, being able to acknowledge and use information. So I sat down for 3 months and just really juggled with what is hip hop information literacy. And my methodology is to the right of the screen. Hip hop information literacy is comprised of a group of knowledge practices that are necessary for students in an academic setting to be cognizant of how to find, retrieve, evaluate, apply, and acknowledge information. This methodology encompasses the Association of College and Research Libraries, ACRL framework for information literacy for higher education as its core concepts for cultural and visual literacy and research, implemented with flexible options by adhering to large ways of understanding or practicing within a discipline. And I still can't believe I came up with that methodology, but I think it just sounds so awesome. And I think that not only does it sound awesome, but it makes a lot of sense. in regards to where we are in society today. I don't think that we have the leisure or other opportunity to just lecture students anymore, nor do I think that that is the best way in regards to engaging students. I am more of a collaborative lecturer slash professor. I like coming into a classroom and hearing ideas from my students. Um, I like to know about what they're reading. I like to know about what they think about certain issues. And I think that when you meet them where they are, it's you just get a totally different perspective and you really get to see them put things in action as far as the research process and them gravitating to different databases outside of Google. So moving forward, I create this little bubble here. I really had to go there with myself because I wanted to make this happen in a short amount of time. There had to be a plan set in place to get the ball rolling, and I love hip hop, so that made it even better. Visualization is important. I had to see it to believe it. So when thinking about putting a new initiative together in an academic setting, being that Lincoln University, we only have close to, I would say, 3,500 students. We have a small academic library. It's big in infrastructure, but it's small as far as staff is concerned. And it's not easy being a liaison librarian, being able to go to different departments and help everyone, but we are working on that. So being the information literacy coordinator, I had to come up with something different. And I think it was time for this particular library for it to go into the future, because I think it was kind of in a dismal place until some new people came in with some different types of ideas. So in order to get this approved, of course, I had to sit down and to compartmentalize how I wanted it to begin and what the end result would be. So when you look at this quote, what does it take to get you on board with building this district to mirror Coral Gables or the Hamptons? I felt like this quote just rang out so much in regards to what I do, what I wanted to initiate, and the perspective and the levels that I wanted to be thought about in regards to this is something that is powerful. This is something that not can only just help students, but it can also bring faculty members in and showing them how to implement hip hop in different ways in their courses. So I created a hip hop blueprint, which if you are able to download, you are able to download this presentation today if you like, and you can check out the blueprint. The blueprint basically consists of close to 50 pages of information as to who, what, when, where, why. And then it also goes and delves into the syllabus. And the syllabus is a hip hop related syllabus for instructors in library science, but it can be tweaked to embedded librarianship or however you want to design it for your course. The second point, hip hop instructor syllabus, I've used the syllabus that's been created for 2 semesters. And I would like to say that students have been very receptive to it. And at this time, I'm fine-tuning the syllabus to better suit students going into the future. As far as the Hip Hop Online Course website, I felt like I needed to create something that had some sort of semblance for students to gravitate to in regards to what we're talking about on a daily basis, a weekly basis, as far as hip hop information literacy is concerned. So I want them to have the visual component, the cultural component, and the research component. The last link is the hip hop student exit survey, which I think is one of the most important things to have within an information literacy course, as far as understanding what your students think about the course, what they're learning, what they feel as though can change to make the course better. So if you're interested in looking at any of these links, they're open to you. to check them out. Feel free to send me suggestions or questions, or just, you know, if you just have a conversation that you want to talk about or learn more about in regards to hip hop information literacy, I'm more than happy to talk with you at any time. So the future of hip hop information literacy. I think one of the cool things about being a hip hop instructor and being a librarian is that when I first meet my students each semester, I let them know you're getting a 2-for-1. Because not only am I a librarian, but I'm a professor. So I see the spectrum of academia from both sides. And typically they don't understand what I'm talking about until the end of the course, which I think is very funny. But in some of the surveys that I've read thus far, a lot of them, they get it. And I think that where I'm going now in the future of hip hop information literacy, perfecting the hip hop curriculum, fine-tuning the assignments, and revamping the course final project is one of the most important things that I'm gravitating to and working on this summer. I've actually had the opportunity to take the blueprint and syllabus and to share it with some of my peers and have them to give me their honest opinion with regards to what they think about the blueprint and the syllabus. And I've had some to say that they felt like the syllabus was too long. I've had some to say that they thought it was just fine. So, you know, you can't satisfy everyone, but you can always meet people in the middle. So I feel like that there are things that need to be changed, which I will be working on. And one of the main things is just fine-tuning the assignments. I found that instead of having students writing 4 papers this semester, how about having them write 8 journal entries in a final project, where in those journal entries, they're able to tell you what they think about in regards to different subject matters as far as hip hop is concerned. And then also show you that they know how to research, they know how to go on databases, they know how to use different types of operators in, you know, retrieving information. They know how to find peer-reviewed articles, just pretty much everything that you would do in information literacy, you do in hip hop information literacy. Is just that you have that cultural and you have that visual component. And I think it's important for them to have pictures in their journal entries or showcase these things in their final project. And that final project going forward in my course will be a PowerPoint presentation that every student has to do, and they choose their favorite hip hop artist, and then they showcase different books, albums, just whatever comes to their mind. I'm willing to meet them where they are and to learn more about what they're interested in regards to that artist. But it also has that component of being able to cite information in APA and MLA. And one of the cool things that I'm working on this summer is a LibGuide for the course specifically. I really didn't want it to be attached with the library per se, because well, I'm not going to say not attached, because they have access to it, but I wanted it to be tailored to my specific course. So that will be debuting in the fall for students who are enrolled in hip hop information literacy. And I was just recently approached to be a part of a panel to create a hip hop bibliography for hip hop information literacy. So if you're going to be attending ACRL in Baltimore next year, you'll be able to meet me, meet some more hip hop librarians and instructors, and you'll be able to get a free copy of this bibliography that we're putting together. So hopefully I'll get to meet you. Hopefully you'll be able to get to pick up a copy, and it'll also be available online. Now, at the bottom of the screen, I just wanted to showcase the course enrollment observation that I've conducted. My first semester of teaching was spring 2015, and I had 11 students that enrolled in my general information literacy course. And I had 2 students that did not pass the course and 1 to drop. In fall 2015, I had 8 students enrolled in my course, my new course, Hip Hop Information Literacy, and I had 1 student to drop. spring 2016, I had 5 students to enroll, and I have 1 to take this course twice and drop. And it's very interesting because Sam says he wants to be a librarian, and I think that in that case, I think I would say 2015 and 2016, I had more upper level students, which I should have put in the presentation in regards to the information in regards to freshman, sophomore, etc., which I'll do next time. But I had more upper level students taking my course versus freshmen, which that is something that I will be working on in the fall. Mind you, I've only been at this university for a year and a half. So, and I've only been a librarian officially for a year and a half. So it's really been interesting observing the culture at Lincoln University and understanding the needs of the students and what they're gravitating to and how you can meet them where they are despite some of the challenges that we may have as far as being able to provide certain types of resources or certain types of databases, because we're such a small university and library. But I still think that being a great librarian, you make it happen regardless. And that's one of the things that I feel as though that I have done since being here. Now, when I look at, you know, the students who dropped the course, I would just say, honestly, I would just say that those students were not, they were not up for the task, because I'm not an easy professor. Just because it says hip hop information literacy doesn't mean that my course is easy. Just because it's a 1-credit course, it doesn't mean that it's easy. Actually, I think 1-credit courses should be much more challenging, because it makes the student see and understand that you may just need 1 credit, but you have to work for that credit. We're not just going to give it to you. And this information that we are giving to you is not just for your academic career, it's for the rest of your life, in regards to learning how to research, being able to go into any library and knowing how to ask for what you need, or being able to give those specific context clues to help us help you. So I'm very excited about where hip hop information literacy is going. I know it's something new within academia as far as library science is concerned. And I've come to find that there are a lot of people who are interested in hip hop information literacy, but have no clue how to go about creating different types of initiatives. And what I would just like to tell you today is that any initiative that you may have that you would like to implement at your university, go for it. Whatever ideas that you have, write them down. Continue to expound on them. Continue to talk to your peers about them. Don't let them go, because more than likely, you may not think the students will need it or would want to gravitate to it, but typically they normally do. This is the end of my presentation, and I wanted to leave you with this quote: whether we consider hip hop as an evolved manifestation of the Harlem Renaissance or something completely new under the sun, it clearly has moved beyond the stage of just entertaining lives to that of informing and empowering lives. And I just like to thank ULU for allowing me to give you a brief synopsis of what I do, what I've created, and what I hope will be some major scholarship going on within library science and within academia. If you're interested in ever getting to know who I am and more about what I do, you can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Please check out my website. Send me any suggestions, questions about this presentation or just the work that I do. And again, I just like to say thank you for attending today. And I hope I went past at least 7 minutes. Have a great day.
All right, thanks, Kimberly. So for those of you who are still around, you can subscribe underneath to get more coffee breaks every 2 weeks. And thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Bye.